Okay, Inappropriate Earl is in the house. Now, I don't get too excited about too many guests on this show. Words cannot express to me who I have sitting on my couch right now. I'm going to do a real slow reveal. You guys know I'm a pro wrestling junkie. A pro wrestling junkie from back in the day. Not whatever garbage is going on right now on Monday Night Raw. I'm a Kamala man. I'm a SD Jones man. Even his brother, whose name I forget at the moment. And the man sitting on my couch right now. It's a real slow reveal. It's a real slow reveal. There he is. The one and only Soul Train Jones. Or you may know him as the great, the one and only, the Black Beast, Virgil. In the house. Woo! Virgil, pick up the mic, baby. This is how podcasts work.
Okay, I can feel it, man. I can feel the pain.
Well, I'm excited to have you on for several reasons, but I can't think of a better time to have a black wrestler from the 80s on because...
Am I black?
If either you're black or you fell into a...
Well, I may fell in some like a coal mine or something, but I think I am chocolate dynamite.
This is going to be the best podcast ever. I can already tell. Virgil gets it. I mean, he gets it. He wants his meat sauce, and he wants it now. Guy's been trolling Hollywood Boulevard for cash.
Right. I wanted some meat sauce. I am the meat sauce mafia.
Well, in West Hollywood, you'll get some meat sauce, all right.
I want something on spaghetti. I need it.
Now, here's the deal. Kofi Kingston is now the champion of the WWE, and I'm happy for him. I think, why I wanted to have you on to start off on a serious note. I always thought that African-American wrestlers in the 80s were not portrayed very well. I mean, if you look at some of the characters, if you will, you had Kamala, who was portrayed as a savage beast who couldn't speak English.
Couldn't speak.
Junkyard Dog, who was came to the ring literally on all fours with a dog collar. Tony Atlas was a muscle-bound buffoon.
Tony, that's my partners, man.
I'm not calling him a buffoon, but and some of the other black wrestlers, yourself, to be honest with you, were basically portrayed as you were a slave.
Multi millionaire.
And, now it's good to see African-American wrestlers
or off on their own.
Well,
their own thing, you mean?
Just portrayed as like humans.
As humans, like they're there, they're champions, and they roll with it. You mean?
Because you were a great wrestler.
Yeah.
You came from a wrestling background, and then you start off as Soul Train Jones, which is kind of like
funny.
It's funny to me because I'm white.
I found it funny too.
Oh, okay.
And I'm black. You mean?
You are black.
Funny, yeah.
I mean, you're so black. You make
rub off. It's still there.
You make Dikembe Mutombo look like an albino. You are. I'm gonna have to wash that mic with Purell after. No, I'm just kidding. Did it ever bother you how you were portrayed?
Never.
Because you were getting paid, or?
That's right. You're getting paid. Paid in the shade, no problem.
But you saw a lot of wrestlers who weren't as good as you are.
Right. And
go over you.
Yeah, I've seen them getting really, what can I call it? Being dog, whatever, you mean?
But how did you, you're such a happy-go-lucky guy now. You're like an internet sensation.
Man, you gotta stay smooth and keep on rolling, man. You can't just let it go in this ear and out this ear. Keep on rolling, keep pushing forward.
You might be the new Black Tony Robbins.
Might be.
Like, how did you get your start in wrestling? Because it's not the back when you started, it wasn't the glamorous. You see a guy like Seth Rollins and Lear jets and beautiful women, and wrestling back then was not as glamorous.
Okay. Well, when I broke in with, I call them Pops, Alpha Anawai and Sika Anawai. Okay?
The Wild Samoans.
Wild Samoans, right. And when I broke in, it was me as Michael Jones. I still call him my brother now, you mean? It was Rodney Anawai. He went by the name Yokozuna. God bless him. He's dead now. Okay? And the other one was Salofa Fatu, which was
God
Rikishi.
bless you.
Yeah.
Oh, Rikishi.
Rikishi, right. One was Rodney, who was Yokozuna, and one was Rikishi, what's his real name? He was Alpha's nephew.
Well, there were so many Samoans.
Salofa Fatu, that's his real name.
Right.
Okay? Was Rikishi.
Now, I'm hearing a rumor, the fans are going nuts with you appearing on this podcast, that to get hired by Vince, you whipped out your ding-a-ling. Is that true?
No, he heard I was the king of the ring. And the king of the ring, if you're hanging 14,
you have
smack on it, baby.
You have wow, that's,
Woo!
a 14-inch pee-pee.
That's right.
That's impressive.
Yeah, a couple people would hold that while I take a piss.
I think I may be in over my head.
What you got to say about that?
Hey, congratulations.
Hey, when Flair see me, he said, whoop, 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 woo. He said, I had to give you every inch of that.
Now, this is actually a serious question.
Oh, yeah.
If this can be a serious subject, with a 14-inch dick, I don't know how else to say it,
or a king tool,
a python,
a snake. That sounds pretty good.
What was it like wrestling with basically a third leg?
Kind of difficult sometimes. You got to keep it tucked. You mean because sometimes
how do you tuck a 14-inch dick?
It still try to ease out. I had tape going around my leg like this, you mean? It still try to ease out some trunks.
Wow.
Still try to jump out some trunks. But if I ever hit out on the sidelines, you mean around the ring, and you see one of them hot mamas around the ring, it wants to jump on its own. I said, get back in there.
Now, I thought I was doing good with 7, but apparently not.
Multiply that by 2, baby.
Now, once again, I'm trying to be serious, but it's hard.
It's hard, man.
Well, it's hard now because now I'm thinking, how big is this guy's dick on my couch? There was a controversy a couple of years ago in the NFL with Michael Sam, who was a gay football player.
Mm-hmm.
Were there gay wrestlers back then? I'm not asking you to name them.
No, when I came in, honestly, no one had the gay action. But if they had one, maybe a year or 2 years ago in the WWE, okay, he would have got strangled
with your dick.
Yeah, in my day, they would have been laughing at his ass in the locker room, and they'd have had me pulling pranks on his ass. Hide in the locker room, in his locker, and leave part of you out looking around.
Right.
Just like this, looking like this. See what's coming up.
I might have to throw away that microphone. I'm just kidding. I could sell this on eBay right now for at least $500.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like when you first got to the WWF at the time?
I mean, it was cool, man. Like, me and Ted, we came in together, okay? And when we came in, real good friend of mine then was Andre the Giant. He came up to us and he called everyone boss, okay? boss, this is what we're gonna do right here, and you two are with me for the ride, the long ride. And Andre told me like he doesn't drink. I don't drink, but Ted drank. Okay, so we made sure that all of us got back at the right time. Always, you know what I mean? Sometimes I had to carry Ted back out of a bar. You know what I mean? Into where Andre's car was at, what car he had, and we go back to our hotel. That was our night. You know what I mean?
Now, in Kamala's book, Kamala Speaks, which might have had more writers than every Expendables movie put together, he didn't paint the most, in the early days in the WWF, he didn't paint the greatest picture of Andre the Giant, hinted at possible, racist situations, but then you hear a story like him helping you.
Yeah. I never ever heard or even noticed Andre being racist. Not one iota. Not one, like the tip of my finger.
And that's a big finger.
Right. He was one of the coolest guys you could ever be around, okay? And he will help out anyone, you mean? So what Kamala's saying, up his. You may.
Well, I'd like to organize a ladder match between the two of you, but that's going to be a hard one for Kamala.
Kamala got no legs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first started to get the rub? And like, what was the first, like, I'm going to be a famous wrestler? Like, because your character really took off instantly.
Yeah. I mean, when me and Ted came in, okay, Vince said, I'm going to make you both bigger than life, okay? And he said, this is 1987 we started. He said, people are going to know you till 2040. I'm saying, man, this ain't even 1988 yet, okay? Okay, you talking about 2040. And he wasn't lying, man. People, you still go on the street and they still give you that look and look back. Shit, I forgot that was you.
Because you look the same.
Yeah. I try to keep myself going, man. Still try to keep myself up, still running, still banging the iron, you man. Keep yourself looking good, you man.
There's a lot of
feeling good.
Do you do DDP yoga or no?
No. I never did that, man. Never did the yoga stuff.
Right.
I just lift the iron, run, eat properly, you mean? And take your vitamins.
Now you sound like a black Hulk Hogan, which is really ironic.
I'm just telling the truth, man. You take vitamins, you end up with there's different colds and there's different pneumonias and all the other crap that comes out, you mean?
Right.
Okay, if you take care of yourself, you bypass all that stuff. If you don't, eyes start sagging, lips start sagging when you start feeling sick all the time. Body gets all beat up, you know, when you slip and fall and bust in your face and bust up your knees because you did not take care of yourself.
Was it hard when you were an active wrestler? I imagine the pressure to make, because you had you were a big guy, very muscular. Was there pressure by Vince or the hires up to, you have to look this good or else there's 10 guys behind you who will?
No. You look good because you want to feel good. And by banging the steel, you feel good. You have that mindset already, you mean? And you know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
And, I mean, do you miss the days of wrestling? Do you ever want to, because you see certain, like Terry Funk still wrestles, and like, do you ever want that one last match?
No. That one last match would be for a couple $1 million, okay? Or why the one last match for? You don't need it, man. You don't need it.
Right, because you've done well for yourself outside of the ring, autograph conventions.
Yeah, but you can do it. You can do it all, and people still know you. So why you want to take a chance and go in there? And the chances where you're not covered with no insurance, okay? You go in there. What happened? You break your leg, and it's way over here, okay? Or you break your upper thigh, or you go in there and you do something where you bust your heart and you're dead on arrival. Why you need that for? You don't need it.
You don't need that shit,
Yeah.
Virgil.
Oh, yeah, give that to somebody else.
Right. Give that to Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, he can use it. It probably can help him.
Now, what are some of the highlights of your first WWE run? Like, I want to say, as a fan, it was when you got the title shot against Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me and Bret, we had a wrestling match, okay? And Bret is one of the best, like, step-by-step wrestler is, you know what I mean? And me and him had a match right down to the minute, you know what I mean? And he's such a real cool guy because his brother was one of my very good friends, Owen.
Right.
And his father, Stu, was a good friend of mine. The mother, I remember Helen. I remember when Stu, I was in the house, Stu came over, grabbing me, and Helen came upside him, pow, back of his head. Leave him alone, Stu. Yeah.
Because Stu Hart was known for his, let's just say, pranks and rigorous training.
Thank you. Right down the basement, right out there in Calgary.
Were you in that basement ever?
No. I went down to just see. I seen big holes in the wall where Junkyard Dog's head was in. Another hole in the wall where Bad News Allen was in. Bad News Brown.
Right.
Okay. Couple other guys, heads up in the wall right there. And Stu had the guys autograph the wall where their beans, their head was in the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was autographed by him.
Because they said if you could get through a training session with Stu Hart, that wrestling in the WWE would be easy.
Yeah, I mean.
Or WCW.
Yeah, but when you learn, when you start, I really picked up a lot learning in the pro wrestling thing where I start working a lot with Tito Santana, Rick Martel, Rick Rude, Jake Roberts, okay? Who else was like? Piper, Brett, Hercules Hernandez, Paul Roma. Okay, these guys, you're working every day with these guys, so you're getting better. Because our things was like on the road 21 straight days, and then you're off for 5 days. But Raw, wherever Raw came up on that Monday night, you do Raw, okay? But then you go back to work, okay? You're working with each and every different guy all the time. Your touch comes from grabbing you like a madman, okay, to touching you very softly, like I'm picking up a baby chicken.
Now, as a fan, I get as a stand-up comic, I've lost a lot of my friends to various methods.
So did I.
Yeah, that's what I want to get into. You know, like recently in the stand-up comedy world, we lost a very, very funny man, Brody Stevens, and unfortunately, there's been a few this year. What are some of your favorite memories of like Rick Rude?
Oh, Rude, man, was such a cool guy to work with, and so to me was funny. I remember I came out like this. And when me and him had matches, I come out, show the abs, whole 9 yards, and boom. And he goes through the whole thing. He said, "Here's my music." And he goes through the whole 9 yards from the calves to the thighs, shaking his ass like this, you know what I mean? Hitting the side obliques right here to show he had a tight ass, smacking the ass back there, coming down, and the hamstrings and all that.
He did have a nice ass.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole 9 yards, man. And then he showed me where I had the bald head. He threw back that hair like this, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at him. I'm just rubbing the noggin right there. And I went over to one woman. She just put my head right between her two bosoms and shook them like that. My head right in there. I said, "You don't have that." and Rude said, "You got one up on me like that." Yeah.
Now I heard he could be quite ornery.
Yeah.
If he didn't like you.
You know, if he didn't like you, correct.
But what would make someone like he liked you clearly?
Yeah.
Was it you knew what buttons not to push?
Yeah, you know what to push, and you can follow his call. What's happening? Okay, some guys come in and want to take all the limelight. Okay, they want to throw wild haymakers and all other crap. You know what I mean? Give him his share, you take your share. Okay,
Right.
It's like a 50-50 split. Some guys want to take the 70-30 split. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they say that in the early days was, and I'm not asking you to speak ill of the deceased, but like Warrior had problems like with Andre.
Yeah.
It's a famous match where he was giving Andre some chops across the chest. And
Warrior, that's all they could do was hit the chops, work a match, work a whole match. Only thing Warrior can do, hit the ropes, bang on your chest. Where's the match at?
that's it. You just did it.
That's not the match. You got to have a whole match. The match going to last for 17 to 20 minutes. You can't bang on your chest for 20 minutes or 17 minutes.
Did you ever wrestle him?
I never had a match against the Warrior. Never did. And I'm kind of, I mean, God bless him, okay?
Oh, of course.
Okay. I'm glad I really didn't. You know what I mean? I mean, like, what are you going to learn from it?
How to grunt?
Yeah. Well, you do that anyway.
Who did you have the best chemistry with?
Best would have been Ted, okay? Another best was Brett. Another best was Rick Rude. A great one I had was with Rick Martel.
The model.
The model, correct. And another one was Tito Santana.
Arriba.
Oh, he is the best. He can guide a blind dog through your house.
Well, I'd like to see that.
You can tell him how to do. Watch out for the little bats right there. Come on, you come next to the wall and the couch. Okay? Come on down a little more. Make a left. Okay? Turn to your left. You're going up the steps. Tito can carry you. He can carry these two young ladies just sitting over there.
Yes.
And they never had a match in their life. And they look like they've been in the ring for 5 years. That's how good Tito Santana is.
Because back then, I know Vince liked bigger guys, like, like.
Wanted you to be jacked, bro.
Right. He didn't necessarily care if you were the greatest wrestler.
No, he wanted that look.
So you needed a guy like Tito Santana, Flair, Rude.
Thank you, right. To carry you, to show you how to wrestle, to show you how to throw your punches, how to throw your chops, how to go a top headlock or a leg lock on someone or a switch around. I mean, you need these guys to teach you. I mean, that's why all the territories, you see these guys now, the young boys they got right now.
Right.
You look at them, they're all doing the same stuff.
It's not very exciting to me.
It's not exciting at all.
And I'm not saying this because you're on my couch right now. I'm being completely serious.
I can see you.
I mean, as a fan,
I can feel you, man.
When I was watching wrestling in the 80s and early 90s, maybe the 80s, there was no internet. So if someone was being billed as Kamala from Uganda, Abdullah the Butcher, I really thought he was from the Sudan.
Yeah.
He's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Atlanta, Georgia, same shit.
Right.
Just a different building.
As far as you, I thought, oh, this guy really is Ted DiBiase's slave. Like, I didn't know this. He has an amateur back. You could look up your Wikipedia page and go, oh, he had an amateur wrestling background. And that's why I can't get into wrestling anymore. It's just, I know they don't even do characters like you anymore. It's just Seth Rollins, great. And he's good.
Yeah.
I didn't like what he did to Sting myself.
Yeah.
56-year-old guy, you're giving him the fucking buckle bonker move.
I wish Sting would have came back on him, man.
Well,
Steve Gordon is still in real good shape. You know?
Oh, for 56? You're 56 too? Yeah. I mean, I never. I really thought they fucked up. Pardon my language. With Sting,
they messed up a little bit on that. You may.
but you know the inside scoop, like from the standpoint of, like to me, Sting was the only guy who never jumped over.
Yeah, he didn't jump from WCW over to the WWF,
and he could have.
Yeah, he could have at any time he wanted to. Okay, he stayed right there, and rode it out. Okay,
Through thicker, he even went to TNA.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and rode it all the way out, man. Sting was a really, when you meet him, man, you don't know he's such a cool guy.
And they dog him out by having him job. Thank you very much to Triple H. What does that do?
Guys that know him personally. Okay,
but is that Vince saying? Like, to me, as a fan, having no inside information, that seems like Vince going, okay, Mr. WCW, you finally
we got you right where we want
came on your knees to me.
Yeah, now I'm going to dog you out.
I mean, is that what it was?
I think that's what it was, where he had a job for him right in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Now, you experienced kind of the opposite, where you went from WWF
to WCW.
But you did it maybe at the best time.
Yeah. With one great gimmick to another great gimmick.
Because your last match in WW, I have so much trouble calling it WWE.
Yeah, WWF
was
World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah,
I still call it that.
Yeah, it's because you're a fucking outlaw.
Yeah,
you're not fucking around, Virgil.
No, I'm just I'm like the goddamn gangsters of this shit.
You really are.
Yeah. I'm Al Capone's partner.
Well, let's not stretch it. I mean, you do stretch it with a 14-inch hog.
I am Capone.
Jesus,
right?
You're with a 14-inch hog.
that's long dong yelling.
I don't know why Billy and Chuck didn't want to marry you. And so your last match in the WWF, fuck it, I'll go rogue, was 1994 Royal Rumble, where you actually were a last-minute replacement for Kamala.
Yeah. You couldn't show up. Well, you must have been drunk or something. Didn't show up.
So the Vince or whoever, Gorilla Monsoon, go, hey.
One that really gave me the call, and Vince told him was, see, his son was one of my best friends then, Joey Morella. That was Gino Morella. That's Gorilla Monsoon.
Right.
So Gino gave me a call, So that was no big thing. I said, Gino, yeah, that's no big thing. I can do that.
Now, did you get along with Bischoff?
Yeah, Eric's a cool guy. Eric let Hulk do all the talking. Hulk did what Hulk said. Eric jumped right on board with it, and Turner loved it.
Now, I'm taking a little bit of courage and balls to say this to you, knowing that you could kick my ass. I always thought the NWO was better with just Hall, Nash, and Hogan, just because I thought once it had like Horace Hogan in it, is a little diluted. What was the feeling like when they said, hey, we're going to expand the NWO to...
Hey, when it started, Hulk gave me a call. Okay, they were 3 members, and they had Hulk, Hall, and Nash. Hogan gave me a call. He said, "How about you and Ted? Like, you think this one like to come in?" I said, "I'll give Ted a call." So we both agreed to come on in too. So Ted was the 4th member. I was a 5th member, and the 6th member was a friend of Scott, which was what's his name?
X-Pac, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Sean Waltman.
Sean Waltman. Okay, so all the same guys, And when we came in there, I think Turner told Hulk, like, I'm getting kind of fed. Like, where they start bringing every John Doe in.
Bagwell.
Yeah. So when they were doing that, I said, Hulk, why don't you bring in Booker's brother, Stevie? This Stevie still got the goddamn look, Stevie Ray.
Right.
Yeah, of the Harlem Heat.
In the
damn look.
Hall of Fame now.
Yeah. I think him and his brother both got inducted in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yeah. It's Harlem Heat. Now, when are you getting in the Hall of Fame?
I guess whenever they got a down year, is the way I'm looking at it. Whenever they have a down year, what can make it more exciting than Ted DiBiase inducting me?
Now, are you in? Because I know, there were rumblings, whatever you want to call it, that you and Ted might not be on the best of terms. Is that smoothed over?
Man, that's pretty cool. I mean, we did a signing together. It was about a month ago. We were way up in north, look like right around Newark, New Jersey, and people paid to see me and Ted. I mean, like down this corner was Ted and myself. Up in this corner, it was supposed to be National Hall. The guys were paying $350 to come get me and Ted's autograph or National Hall's autograph. Nash was there, but Hall had to do something else, so they had Sid Vicious there. So for $350, you get me and Ted's autograph, or Nash and Sid Vicious autograph. Man, the line went probably out the door right here and down all the way down the street to see me and Ted or Nash and Sid. And people were coming over to them and they were like loving to get the autographs, man. So people still like to see both of us together.
Well, it's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I mean, or popcorn and butter.
Or herpes and Valtrex.
Or if you got 14, show it.
Well, I don't. I'll have to show it twice.
Woo!
Now, you've had a lot of gimmicks.
Oh, yeah.
As they say in the business.
Yeah.
What was your favorite gimmick? I'll assume it's Virgil.
Okay, I guess Virgil and Benson, but I still think the Soul Train thing, when I first came in, me and Rocky Johnson, that's The Rock's father, was tag team champs down in the Mid-South. That's with Jerry Lawler down there.
Right, and there must have been, I've seen some clips from Mid-South Wrestling. Let's just say some of the promos might come off as slightly racist.
Yeah. But, down there, they were just saying any damn thing, man.
But what was it like being a black wrestler in the South in the 80s?
In the 80s? I mean, it wasn't bad. You're in Memphis, Tennessee, and Memphis is majority, the city, majority, like the black population is way up in Memphis, Tennessee, you know?
Right. But I mean, I just, I know, especially back in the 80s, I don't think, I think wrestling fans thought it was real. And let me say this right now.
It can look real. Yeah.
But yes, wrestling might be scripted, but you guys then, now, and in the future are amazing athletes.
Yeah. I mean, to make it look unbelievable, you have to bring it, you mean? And these young boys they got now don't know. They can't even spell bring it. You know what I mean? They couldn't even spell it.
Well, it's just, I don't know if this makes any sense to you, but like to me, you guys from your era were better actors.
Better athletes.
And when I say actors, I mean, and I told Piper this, and I love that man more than.
Oh, man. Great guy, man.
More than, I can't express it. I said to him when I first started working with him, I used to hate you.
Yeah.
And he got sad. He's like, why?
Why?
And I was like, I really believed you that you were a bad guy.
He was a cool guy, man.
But I found you couldn't be any nicer off.
Well, one of the coolest guys you could know, man. When I really got me and Pipe, we did a lot of things together, man. It's just like it's jail. It's like a big brother. You know what I mean? Like such a cool guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
A laid back, cool guy, man. Like he'll give you his left shoe, and he's only wearing half of the right shoe.
Well, I hope he didn't give you his condoms because those wouldn't have fit.
I stretch them, wouldn't I?
What do you use for condoms? Trash bags?
Just use a big old plastic bag.
There you go.
Tie it off.
Well, I certainly didn't think I was going to talk about your 14-inch hog.
Hey, it comes in like when I do one-on-ones with different people.
Yeah.
About.
Well, now you're least favorite gimmick. I'll say I don't know how you feel about Curly Bill.
It was like a funny thing. Like when we started up, we broke away. Like didn't WCW was falling apart. It would start falling apart. Okay, and Kirk Hennig came in with that. You know what I mean? And we started going like that. And I said, "What name can we use?" And he came right off with it. Like, what about Curly Bill? I said, shit, I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Because me and Kirk was cool. You know what I mean?
Well, Mr. Perfect for you younger fans.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Kirk. I knew his old man. You mean we were cool. You mean?
Now that was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Mr.
I mean Kirk Hennig.
Yes.
Got damn right.
And Larry, his father.
Oh yeah, Larry. Kirk was damn right, and Larry. You know what I mean?
Did you have some good matches with Mr. Perfect?
Oh yeah, me and Kirk had some great matches, man. And he just had you so much that you'll break out, start laughing at any goddamn time. But you don't see how many blizzards I went over and stuck my hand down these chick's big ass chest just to laugh in there. You know what I mean? You get it out of me.
Now, was that part of the, back then, unless you were a top guy, a Hogan, a Warrior, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, I'm dating myself a little bit there, they got the big money. Yeah.
You can still get big money. I mean, me and Ted made some big money in that, you know?
But were the chicks and we had part of the package?
We had all the chicks.
Because you guys are rock stars.
Yeah. We had all the chicks. Hey, how many chicks they want to get paid? Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then they get the 14 comes with the payment. You get payment and don't scream so loud, baby.
Oh, I won't. Now, toward the end of WCW, to me, it just as once again as a fan, I thought,
I was just dropping like this, you mean?
Well, I thought they had a great short-term plan, which was get all the superstars, Macho Man, Hogan, yourself, Warrior, all the names, get them to WCW so people like me will switch over. Great mid-range plan, NWO, maybe the greatest creation in wrestling history. And the high flyers, the Eddie Guerreros, the Benoits, the smaller guys. Okay. But to me, they had no long-term plan.
Yeah. Can I say one thing?
It's your podcast.
Okay. One thing would have been great. Could have been, why not cut the money down where the WWE makes 60% and WCW make 40%, and they still go at each other like they were hungry dogs, like they were always going back and forth to each other. And Vince still got 60% of the action, where Turner will got 40% of the action, and the guys could have been intervening going from like WCW to the WWF. And guys can be coming back from WWF back to WCW, or WWE back to WCW. And it could have worked, man. They would have still been battling today.
Now, but Vince strikes me, and obviously you know him, I don't, as the guy, type of guy.
He wants to take you and squeeze you by your balls until...
Good luck with you.
Nuts. I mean, out of your nose. Yeah.
He strikes me as the type, he doesn't want to share anything. He's not going to go halvesies with Ted Turner.
No, he don't want to give up nothing. He just wants to be king of the ring.
Now, we just have a few minutes left because I know you have to get to the Comedy Store. So for my Instagram Live fans, where can people find you online and buy your shit?
Okay, they have it right on. That's my agent right there. He can tell you. Ask my agent. He's
Instagram, Real Virgil, Twitter, The Real Virgil, I think.
You think you're his fucking manager. What are you talking about?
He just wrestled back there.
So Pro Wrestling Tees, they can go on and buy Virgil t-shirts and accompanying things. All right, we're going to follow Virgil. He's the fucking best. Curly Bill, whatever you want to Soul Train Jones. We're going to talk a few
Kelly, whatever you want to call.
We're going to talk a few more minutes because Virgil is nice enough. He has to go to the Comedy Store now, so listen to the rest on Apple Podcast. And final thoughts, when did you decide to leave wrestling the first time? WCW was declining.
Yeah.
Was it like, this isn't fun anymore?
I mean, it wasn't fun. I even talked to one thing I talked to, like Shane, or one thing, Shane McMahon, and I could see, like, it's not the fun no more. You mean?
Because it's a grueling lifestyle.
Yeah, it's grueling, man. You're traveling it seems like 24/7, okay? And then you're like on the road like 21 days, off 5 days, back out 21. And then we go down to WCW, you're on the road every Monday night.
And then Tuesday night, there's either a Thunder taping,
Yeah.
or if you're in WWE, a SmackDown.
Right.
So you really have no time to recuperate.
Yeah.
And you still have to work out.
You still got to get it done, man.
Now, in your prime, what was your 260-ish?
My best, I think it was like 292.
And solid muscle.
Rock hard. Rock hard.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But and I want to bring this subject up with reverence. I would think it's almost impossible with that travel schedule to naturally, I'm not asking to name names, but like back then, I think the drug testing was probably a little less lenient. Was there pressure to, and the guys who did steroids did it on their own volition?
Yeah. I never took not one shot of nothing. I hated needles. So I never took one shot of Decatur-Robin, any of this crap.
Anavar.
Anadrol. What I used to do, I was eating red meat at least. I had like 5 steaks, 6 steaks every meal. Breakfast, 5 steaks. Lunch, 5 steaks. Dinner, 5 steaks. Okay? Big salads I used to eat. You know what I mean? No salad dressing on it. Raw onions on it. And salad and tomatoes and lettuce. I just ate my way to what I did, man. Okay? I never had to pump the needle. You look at my ass.
I'm good.
Smooth.
I'll take your word for it.
There's no pen marks on my butt, huh? You know what I mean? On my arms, no pen marks. And see how I look.
You look great.
Almost look like I looked when I came into wrestling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God damn, I could talk to you for hours. I'm going to do what I did with Piper toward the end, which was we're going to play word association. I'm just going to mention a wrestler's name. You just give your thoughts, like them, hate them, love them. Kamala.
All I can say is strange.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Same guy. Strange.
Scott Norton.
Cool guy. I mean, cool. He's in NWO. Cool.
Scott Steiner.
Steiner. A real cool guy.
What about his brother?
Rick. One of my good friends.
The dog-faced gremlin.
Yeah. One of my good friends.
Randy Savage.
Very good friend. Good guy.
I'm not on purpose naming NWO guys, but
good guy, man.
Andre the Giant.
One of the greatest guys you could ever know. One of the greatest, if not the greatest.
Steve Borden, a.k.a. Sting.
Very nice gentleman. Very good guy, man.
Mr. Hughes.
Mr. Hughes. Hughes was pretty cool. Pretty cool guy. When you got to meet him. Pretty good guy.
Bubba Rogers, big boss man.
Big boss man, great guy, man. Yeah, Ray Trader, great guy, bro. Great guy.
Yokozuna.
One of my best friends. One of my best friends, man.
Now it would seem I don't want to interrupt, but like that's an odd pairing to be best friends with. Did you guys just connect and bond?
We broke in together. His uncles broke both of us in. Alpha Anawai,
Right.
Sika Anawai. His real name was Rodney Anawai. That was their uncles.
I'm going to go off the grid on a few of these. Repo Man.
Repo, cool guy, Minneapolis boy, good guy.
Tito Santana.
One of the greatest guys you can know, man. He helped me out so much in my beginning of my career, man. I take my hat off to Tito, Rick Martel, Rick Rude, anytime they want me to.
Because I would imagine as a black wrestler, breaking in was tough in the WWE. At that time.
It wasn't tough, but like you have the best guys or great wrestlers helping you. It helped out a lot, man. And these guys were the best.
Bobby Heenan.
Very cool guy. Very cool. I mean, he taught me how to even talk. And he helped me out so much, even though he came with the pranks of the pranks. That helps you, you know?
Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream. I didn't know the American Dream that well because he was down in
WC, right.
in the AWA. Okay, when he came up there, Vince punished him. He gave him a black chick, Sapphire, and he made him wear spots. And Dusty wasn't used to having no black chick with him.
Right.
Okay? So it took him to a whole different world, you know what I mean? A world that he never, ever even seen, you know what I mean? I mean, he wasn't even trying to be the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, okay?
All right, just a few more.
Okay.
We're going to go off the grid with some Chick Donovan.
Chick Donovan? I didn't know him that well.
Okay, let me see. Paul Orndorff.
Paul, very, very cool guy. Great wrestler, man. And Paul helped me out so much where he showed me different holds and how to do it and how to really, because me and Paul worked out sometime together.
Horace Hogan.
That's Hulk's brother. I mean, that was Hulk's younger brother. Okay? I helped Horace out. He's a bang the iron with me. Horace, yeah. Horace is a great guy. And all of a sudden, he just disappeared, you mean?
Right. He did kind of disappear.
Yeah. But Horace was a really cool guy, man.
Two more names.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to let you go to the Comedy Store.
Okay.
Eric Bischoff.
Eric's a very cool guy, man. He ran that NWO and did it right. Did it very good, man.
And last,
good.
but certainly not least, well, two more names, real fast. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk's a very cool guy. One of the best guys in the wrestling business, man. Very, 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 very cool.
And I would be remiss to have this man not be the last name I asked you about. Through good and bad, the $1 million man. Everybody has a price.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Ted DiBiase.
Ted's a very cool guy, man. Very cool. I don't care what people say. He helped me out so much in this business, man. I take my hat off to him every day.
Well, Virgil, Vincent, Curly Bill, Soul Train Jones, the fucking pleasure was all mine.
Pleasure of mine too, man.
I can't thank you enough. I will give the links to where to buy Virgil's merchandise. He needs meat sauce. Support this man. This guy broke his fucking back for our viewing pleasure. Buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com. Just, I guess, look Virgil up in the search engine. And I mean, it's $20.
Thank you.
Thank you, Virgil, very much.
Thank you.